I gripped the spear tightly and thrust it deep into my foster father's chest. Listening to his heart-wrenching screams, I hoisted him high into the air as blood spurted from the wound. In an instant, his body twisted and shrank before my eyes, ultimately shriveling into a withered corpse. I had thought this would scare off the other vampires, but to my horror, they continued to bare their fangs, fixating on my son with eyes burning with bloodlust. In that moment, deep regret washed over me. Had it not been for vengeance, for saving my child, would I ever have risked transforming my dying people into an army of vampires? I summoned a storm, dark clouds obscuring the sun, and led my newly born Legion of Darkness to declare war upon the Sultan's 100,000-strong army. Before the enemy could prepare, my subjects transformed into bats and charged the battlefield. Their homeland had been trampled by the Turks. Now rage and bloodlust consumed their reason. Within moments, the battlefield descended into chaos. Despite their overwhelming numbers, the enemy forces were utterly helpless against the vampire surprise assault. I personally impaled the general responsible for my queen's death upon a stake, leaving him for my starving subjects to devour. Then I charged straight for the Sultan's tent, intent on rescuing my son. But the cunning Sultan had anticipated my weakness. The glittering silver coins scattered across the ground burned like fire, searing away my strength. I advanced step by step, sword raised, yet each coin I touched tore through my body like a knife. My attacks were easily parried, forcing me back again and again. The silver glare blinded me, making vision nearly impossible. The Sultan deliberately slashed the sack above his head, unleashing a torrent of silver coins. My strength steadily drained until he knocked me down once more. A searing hole gaped in my chest, and I nearly surrendered. Then my son's desperate cry pierced my heart like a blade. In that instant, my final reserves of strength erupted within me. Transforming into a bat, I instantly swooped behind the Sultan. I sank my teeth into his neck, finally fulfilling the dying wish of my wife and exacting my vengeance. Emerging from the tent with my son, I saw the battlefield where 100,000 soldiers had been slaughtered by my people. But before I could rejoice, these bloodthirsty vampires turned their fangs on my child. Enraged, I seized a wooden staff and slew their leader, yet they pressed forward relentlessly. In the crisis, the priest raised his cross, temporarily holding them at bay. I knew my son could not grow up in such darkness. With a heavy heart, I entrusted him to the priest, designating him as my successor. As for me, I had nowhere left to go. I raised my hand to part the dark clouds, unleashing the blazing sun upon the land. Under its fierce rays, the vampire army instantly ignited, howling as they turned to ash. I too felt the searing pain, yet my heart was filled with an unprecedented calm. Finally, I turned to look at my son, a smile of acceptance on my lips as I collapsed to the ground. After that battle, the Turks dared not set foot on this land again, and the people found peace once more under my son's rule. Yet my story did not end there. That beggar servant who once willingly embraced darkness found my remains amidst the piles of corpses. He slit his palm, using his blood to awaken me once more. Thus, after traversing thousands of years of reincarnation, I was reborn. After thousands of years of cycles, in a modern metropolis, I finally saw her again, my queen, her reincarnation.